If I had to name this chapter of my life, it would definitely be crippling anxiety and uncertainty. It would be one of those movies where we're trying to understand how all of the series of events are related and like what's even gonna happen at the end. Where is this thing going? I'm confused. One thing about me is I do not do well in uncertainty. I've had tragic things happen and I can honestly say uncertainty feels worse than tragedy, which is kind of crazy. Like, I'm not asking for tragedy, please God, do not hear me incorrectly. I'm just saying that uncertainty presents a lot of discomfort. It puts me in this limbo place where I'm just trying to figure out and sometimes even control the outcomes. I'm now in my 30s. It's safe to say I've had my fair share of moments that have led to serious uncertainty about where my life was headed. By the way, if you don't think this is like an ingenious innovation here, my little paper towel bib, then I feel bad for you. But anyway, I want to talk you through how I've learned to manage the crippling anxiety that often comes with these moments. The most important thing that I've learned to do is to accept that it sucks. I can honestly tell you that 90% of the unsettling feelings that you have are you trying to escape those unsettling feelings. And I'm a fighter, so I understand that. I don't like sitting with uncomfortable emotions, and I spent the majority of my life trying to fight them off, trying to reject them, trying to squash them and get rid of them. And from my experience as an anxious girly, all that does is blow them up. They just become so much more powerful. I imagine it's kind of like when you give antibiotics to try to get rid of an infection, and it just kind of like strengthens the infection because it feels like it needs to overpower what's trying to fight it. That's how I feel. I feel like sometimes the emotional reaction to a thing could be this big, but then when you try to fight it, it just starts fighting back and it magnifies. As challenging and even counterproductive as it sounds, the first thing I want you to do is just accept that you are feeling anxious, scared, unsettled, dread, whatever those feelings are that are coming up. I want you to give them permission to be there for right now. Not to be cliche, but one of the most powerful ways to observe your feelings without judgment, at least for me, and no, I'm not going to tell you to meditate, is to journal. Meditating for me, as someone who has control issues that I've been trying to deal with, meditating has actually felt really scary. Like, I don't feel safe enough to just sit still when everything around me feels like it's burning down. So if that's how you feel about meditation, I completely get it. What I felt is more productive for me is journaling. Taking the thoughts straight out of my head, kind of like holding them accountable, but in a non-judgmental way, putting them on paper so that they can, number one, like be out of you. It's kind of like you're throwing up something toxic. Also, you're able to observe how you're feeling. So I highly recommend journaling during this time. I'm going through a lot of uncertainty right now, a lot. I've been resisting journaling. By the time I post this video, I will have journaled, okay? Because we take our own advice over here. One of the most stressful, uncertain periods of my life was when I was unemployed for a couple of months after I was teaching. I got accepted for a job in the middle of my teaching career that I was almost 100% sure I was going to take on. So I just stopped applying to jobs, assuming like, okay, by the time I'm done with this year of teaching, I already have a job lined up. They gave me an offer, everything is good. But when I looked at their offer, it just wasn't what I was looking for salary-wise. So I started negotiating with them and they couldn't give me what I wanted. So I had to actually say no. And that left me with no offers on the table because I had put all my eggs in that basket. So by the time I finished teaching, I just had to go back into the job search, and I must have applied to over 50 jobs during that time. I remember waking up every day and treating my job search like a job. Like, I would go to the local coffee shop every morning by 9 a.m., sit there, apply, have my little lunch break, apply until like sometimes like 3 or 4 p.m. And then I would just try to continue on with my day. There was just this dark cloud of uncertainty and unemployment. And it's crazy because I didn't actually really need the money at that point in time. I was living with my parents. Most of my bills and stuff were paid for. I was super privileged to have that support from my parents. So a lot of these stressors were kind of imagined, and it was just more so a self-worth thing of like, what am I doing with my life? I don't have a job lined up. Oh my God. Imagine being unemployed for 2 to 3 months. The world is gonna end. That's truly how I felt. And I'm not saying this to make fun of my younger self. Like, those feelings were very much so real, even if the circumstances were not as stressful as I thought that they were. But honestly, I owe so much of my calmness today and my faith to that younger version of me, that far more stressed out version of me, because how she actually chose to handle that time set the precedent for every other moment of uncertainty for the rest of my life. There was one day during that time period where I just basically had this mindset shift where I'm like, hold on a second. Yes, this is stressful. Yes, this sucks. Yes, I'm getting rejections left and right from all these jobs I'm applying for. Yes, I have no idea what the hell is gonna happen here. However, I can go to the grocery store on a random Tuesday afternoon. I can manage my own schedule. I can go to the gym in the middle of the day if I want to. I don't have anybody emailing me and telling me to get something done by a certain time. All of my deadlines are really self-imposed deadlines. There's a lot of positive to be found here that actually won't be present when I get the thing that I want. So I was like, yeah, that's true. If I just decide that I will get a job eventually, I don't know when, and it's not fully in my hands. All I know, I'm controlling what I can control. But if I just decide that I will get a job, then I can be free to be grateful for this time period for what it can uniquely offer me that I will not get when I get the thing that I want. Sure enough, within a month, I had a job offer lined up. You might call it a positivity hack, but honestly, I think to me, it's like a maximizer hack of like, how can I maximize the total gratitude I can have at any given moment? And in order to do that, sometimes I need to be aware of how this moment exists within the context of the rest of my life, even if I don't know what's gonna happen. But what I do know is, yes, being unemployed could be stressful, or being single if you're someone who's stressed about finding a partner. There could be unique stressors involved in those situations, but asking yourself, what is something I can only get right now that I actually won't have access to when I get the thing that I want? I actually totally applied that to being single, and I have an entire vlog about this process of my life when I was just intentionally obsessed with being single because I knew there were certain moments that I had to myself that I just wouldn't have even in the healthiest and happiest of relationships, which is 100% true. Like, the version of me today who has everything that I want relationship wise is so proud of the single version of me and how she chose to maximize her gratitude during that unique and once in a lifetime experience in her life. And it's so funny, like, as I say that out loud, dealing with what I've been dealing with in my personal life, it seems so funny to look at something that seems so stressful and even potentially negative as a once in a lifetime experience. But we can argue that every day is a once in a lifetime experience because we'll never get it back. What is it about your today? Yes, even as unideal as it might be, that you will not get when your vision board plays out. What is it about today that you won't have? I'll give you an example. Like, one thing I'm manifesting is growing this audience and becoming a full-time creator with brand deals and sponsorships and all of that amazing stuff. As much as I'm so excited about that and I know it will happen, I also know there will come a day when I get these amazing brand deals that I love where I'm like, dang, I really miss making content for nobody but me. I really miss making content with nothing in mind but how can I add value to my audience. I really miss not having to have a deadline on when I need to submit videos to a specific brand or company. I really miss being able to have creative freedom with all of my videos where nobody is telling me what I'm supposed to say or what points I need to hit on or what clothes I'm not supposed to wear in the video. This is not me pushing away the thing that I want. Like, I absolutely love the idea of me one day having these brand deals and sponsorships, and I'm so excited for that. But there is a time and place for that, and right now that's just not where I'm at. So how can I double down on gratitude for what is unique about this time period right now? I don't know if this is the case for you, and you honestly might already be feeling it, but it's like the funniest thing happens when you choose to look at it through that perspective shift. And it's that choosing to pay so much attention to my anxiety started to feel then like a waste of time. So let me explain that. As a maximizer, I'm always looking for opportunities to make the most out of an experience. And it helped me realize that indirectly, as I was so stressed about what was going to happen, I actually subconsciously saw my anxiety as productive, because it made me feel like if I was sitting and watching TV, but I'm anxious, then I'm doing something towards my goal. If I'm sitting and having a nice workout or even a massage, dare I say, but I have this huge looming cloud of anxiety over me, then I'm not wasting any time. I'm actually doing something about the source of my stress because, hey, I'm anxious. I was thinking about it. That must count for something. And when we say it out loud like that, like, yeah, it sounds ridiculous, but I'm telling you, like, That is why I gave so much power to my anxiety, because I thought it was productive. I thought it was keeping me safe. But now that I look at my life as, yes, this sucks, this is stressful, I don't know what's gonna happen. However, there's some perks and benefits that I get in this moment that I'm not gonna get once I get what I want. My brain automatically shuffled to like, okay, let's double down and be grateful because we're not gonna have this. We can't waste the gratitude opportunities because hello, we're maximizers. We need to make the most out of this gratitude because we don't want to look back and feel like we missed an opportunity to be grateful. I wonder what comes up for you when I say that. Like, are you able to think of a couple of things that are just uniquely special about this moment? Maybe you're dealing with some family troubles, and as devastating as it might be, you are spending a lot more time being present with your family. Maybe you are searching for a new place and you're feeling unsettled, but it is giving you a unique opportunity to explore places and be open-minded about things you'd never considered before. Maybe you're in college and you're just questioning your decision about your major and your career and you're feeling lost, but it's also giving you an opportunity to reconnect with what you truly want in life in a way that you haven't done in a while. My love, I don't say any of these things to be toxically positive or to romanticize the pain that you're experiencing. Not at all. I just want to give you another alternative to alchemize that pain into something that ultimately feels purposeful for you. I don't know about you, but I'm much more willing to have endurance and withstand certain painful emotions that I'm feeling if I was convinced that it was all for a reason. The thing that I learned way too late in the game is you could just decide that it's all for a reason. Like, you don't need to wait for that reason to reveal itself for you to decide that you're going to learn something from this experience, and it's ultimately going to be another badge of honor that you get to wear for the rest of your life. So pull that journal out, my love. Start getting real about how you're feeling. Don't hold back. Give yourself permission to just feel the emotions that you're feeling and observe them from a distance. And then from there, if you're ready, ask yourself, what is it that I can do or get or experience in this moment, whether it's the most unideal, shittiest moment of my life? What is it that I can experience that I won't get when I get everything that I want, or when all these problems end up resolving themselves? I guarantee you, if you dig a little bit, there's something. Honestly, if you're comfortable, I would love to hear what those are. Like, what are you going through? What is it that, you know, is keeping you up at night? And if you're comfortable sharing, what are some things that you can only get out of this period that you're in? You might be the only one experiencing your thing in the way that you are, but I think the feelings are very universal, and they are not feelings that only you have experienced. We all experience such similar feelings in our lifetime. I can literally promise you that one day you're gonna look back at how you chose to handle this time and feel so proud of yourself. And please rest assured, my love, you're not going through this alone. Like, this is literally one of the most uncertain seasons of my life, and I really am struggling, but I'm taking my own advice. So if nothing else makes you feel better, just know that we're doing this hand in hand. And for whatever it's worth, we're gonna look damn good doing it. Girls with anxiety are the sexiest girls. I don't make the rules. But on a real note, you got this, boo. You've got this. I'm rooting for you so much. I'm so excited to hear how things are going to completely work out for you. I can't wait for you to come back here in a week, 2 weeks, whenever, and let me know that everything worked out even better than planned, because it always does. We are literally holding hands through whatever it is that you are experiencing. I'm right here with you. I love you so much. And as always, stay powerful, my love.